Therapy Army, let's be happy, you are T, who are we? I've just had a little chat. Big up to Khalees Remedy Lassie, big up Chief Edit United Real Therapy, big up all the comments, man. I appreciate you all for waiting patiently. Big up Elite Baller. Yes, anything can happen. No one can predict the future. Yeah, big up. No, because we play moments. There's no structure to our plays. Dead. Yeah, big up to everyone. Big up Jamie Wayne. Big up everybody. At the end of the day, I've just said on Saeed TV, yeah, I've just said I would rather play Collier, Kobe Mainu, Max Olede, right, in midfield than play washed up Casemiro, and Ericsson that can only do it for 60 minutes. I would rather play that. Get in the comments if you agree or disagree. Big up to everybody, though. Appreciate you all. Please like, subscribe to the channel. Like, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe. Big up Khalees Remedy. That's the Chief Edit United Real Therapy. Yeah, big up. Legends never die, mate. They just multiply, innit? They live forever, man. Legends like Bobby live forever. So today, 1 year ago today, so love and light to his family, to his children, to his grandchildren, love and light to them. And can we always say as well, total solidarity with Chris Cabba, family and friends. He basically, armed police officer in this UK, murdered in 17 seconds, shot somebody, unalive somebody in the head. And you know what happened? He got off scot-free. But that's where we are, in it. So now, any police can say, oh, I fear for my life and take you out. Simple. That's what it is in the UK, people. This is what it is in the UK. And they're out there, anti-terror police are arresting journalists for telling truth about what's going on in Gaza. Can you believe that? Do you think you live in a free country? Do you think you live in a democracy? Get the fuck out of here with that talk, man. Fuck the fucking police, man. Fuck the police. Yeah, you heard me. You know where I live. Come for me. Come. Pricks. Erik ten Hag, I spoke to a friend of mine in Germany, and he said, maybe you suggest one of the football writers change jobs for a week. Nah, fuck Erik ten Hag. He's waffling, man. Absolute waffle of Erik ten Hag. But big up to everybody. We got a bit of a show for you today, man. I don't care getting clipped. I'm telling you again. I'm going to tell you again, people. Let me know what you guys say, right? Let me know what you guys say. Yes, let me play you exactly what I said. This is what I said, people, yeah? I'm going to play for you now, yeah? This is what I said, and I will die on that hill. I don't care what anybody tells me. I do not give a damn when anybody tells me, yeah? Anybody tells me. Just share this. Let me continue.
We're finished.
You hearing this, people? Let me play it back.
We're finished.
And Kobe Mainu, I'll be fucking over the moon with that. I will watch. I will pay good money to go and watch that. Yes, Daddy. Yes, you heard me right. You heard me, because you know why? It's about opportunity.
We're finished. You are finished.
I'm telling you now.
You are finished. Allah, you're deluded.
Guys, that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line.
You're telling me that's the only Delhi, yeah?
This is what you don't understand.
And Khomeini, you'd be happy with that. You're deluded.
I would. Because I'm saying
you're finished.
I don't know about Collier.
Let me finish.
You're deluded.
Let me give the reasons why. Casemiro slide tackling himself, sleeping on football. Ericsson after 50 minutes, gassed out. Don't offer me shit. Bruno, get the fuck out of here with those three you talking about. And Kobe Mainu, I'll be fucking over the moon with that. I will watch. I will pay good money to go and watch that. Yes, Daddy. Yes, you heard me right. You heard. There you go, people. You heard me. Let me see what people are saying. Yeah? 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 Big up to you, Kevin. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Exactly, Cameron. Tell them again, Cameron. Tell them again. At this point, I'm sitting 11th. I got nothing to lose, mate. 0 to lose. I got nothing to lose. I'm not flip-flopping at all. I'm not flip-flopping at all. Far from it. I'm not. Big up to Saeed for the raid, by the way. Big up, people. Big up. I'm just telling it as it is. I'm telling it as it is. But big up to you lot. Big up to you lot. Where did we get? Where are we getting with Bruno, Casemiro on these guys? Tell me, are we winning the leagues? What are we winning, people? Tell me, what are we winning? What are we winning? Smash the like, people. We've got a show for you tonight, man. Got a show for you tonight. Smash the like, people. Let me see how many of you are going to start a poll. We're going to start a poll, people. Let me see. When we get to 100 likes, I'll do a poll on what you think Maxi, Kobe, and the other kid played in midfield instead of Bruno, Ericsson, and Casemiro. And then you can tell me. Right? We'll do that poll before we finish. Yeah, you can tell me. No. You can tell me, people. There we go. Started a poll. Like the bloody video. Like the video, people. Big up Khalees. Khalees, I've started some of the quotes and I'll play them in a minute. Let me just introduce the show. People, this is going to be a Monday. I'm going to hopefully try to do it in the mornings, this show. And then, so then what we're going to do is going to look over the weekend's football. And we're going to really just compile it and see where we're at. That's what we're going to do, people. We're going to do that. So, you know what I mean? We're going to do that, people. That's what we're going to do. We're going to look at how the other wins and losers of my opinion, what's happened. So we're going to do that, people. We're going to do it. So I'm going to take you now to what's happening out here, people. What's happening? What's happening? So let's start a little bit of the meltdowns, eh? Let's start some of the meltdowns, eh? Let's take the piss, eh? Let's take the piss, yeah? Let's have a laugh because everybody clips us up, yeah, and has a laugh. Let's see who's had the most meltdown, yeah? Who's had the most meltdown? Who's had the most meltdown, people? Who's had it this week? This is what we call it, the meltdowns of the week, mate. Meltdowns of the week. I'm going to line it up to share with you. So what team do you want to go? Okay, you lost. Arsenal lost. Chelsea lost. You want me to go look at the head losses from the Arsenal fan TV? Do you want me to have a look at Chelsea fan TV? What do you want? Let me know, people. What do you want? Because we can have a look. But on today's show, people, what's coming up? Let me just get to what's coming up on today's show. On today's show, well, we're going to be asking the question later. Can Manchester United go on a run? Which team impressed you in the title race? Because we've got 3 teams in the title race now. City, Arsenal, Liverpool. We're going to be talking about that, and we'll get to some of it. But yeah, welcome to the Therapy Monday session, babe. It's Therapy Monday session, right? Therapy Monday session. Tom, I'll send you the link. Let me send Tom the link. 1 second. If you're free, Tom, I'll send you the link. You want to go to Arsenal first? Let's have a look at the meltdowns, eh? Arsenal. You said Arsenal, yeah? Let's have a look at who's having the meltdowns, yeah? There we go. Big up to our guy, No Context Football. Let's go to him, eh? Let's go to our guy. Let's have a look at Arsenal as the goal's gone in. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of the meltdowns, eh?
Fashionable narrative to get them the most views. Mistake cost Arsenal. Arsenal robbed? Question mark. Why do they actually write their titles like this spastics, bruv? Arsenal robbed? Question mark. Were Arsenal?
People were giving this transfer window of 7s and 8s out of 10. Marino, who looks like he's walking with blisters, is in agony. Sterling, who's playing like Vibes Cartel, who's been in prison for 12 years. You've got Calafiori, an aura merchant, who looks like he should be working for Armani, selling suits in Harrods. You've got David Raya, who's playing like he's had 10 pints last night with people were giving this.
This is
Rob,
0-0. This
question
is
mark.
43
You're asking a
minutes
question,
gone.
but you're making a statement. You're putting a question mark at the end of a statement. Arsenal robbed. That should be an exclamation mark, not a question mark. I would say I know he's dyslexic, but he chats so much bollocks. I don't know what he's fucking talking about, bro. Yeah, you can't actually trust the word he says. Oh,
Let me just silence Lee. Eh? First time I'm doing this, people. Be patient. So talk about Manchester United having a meltdown. Look what's happening here, people. Look what's happening here. Big up, Tom. So this is 0-0. I think 46 minutes gone. It's 0-0. And the Arsenal fan is looking at the bench.
People were giving this transfer window 7s and 8s out of 10. Marino, who looks like he's walking with blisters, is in agony. Sterling, who's playing like Vibes Cartel, who's been in prison for 12 years. You've got Calafiori, an aura merchant, who looks like he should be working for Armani, selling suits in Harrods. And you've got David Raya, who's playing like he's had 10 pints last night with Stella Artrossard. People were giving that window 8, 9 out of 10. I gave it 5 out of 10. That might have been too high. Raya drunk from his engagement part. I don't know what's going on. Has he got engaged? People were giving this transfer window 7s and 8s out of 10. Marino, who looks like he's walking with blisters, is in agony. Sterling, who's playing like Vibes Cartel, who's been in prison for 12 years. You've got Calafiori, an aura merchant, who looks like he should be working for Armani, selling suits in Harrods. And you've got David Raya, who's playing like he's had 10 pints last night with Stella Artrossard. People were...
Big up to my guy. I don't know my guy, mate. What's my guy's channel called? Big up to this channel.
It's in the corner, do you know? Top left corner.
Curtis, big up Curtis Shaw. Curtis Shaw 90. Big up to Curtis Shaw, man. Listen, that's the first one. Tom, that's the first meltdown, yeah? They do it to us, so we're doing it to them, Tom. We're taking the piss. Well, look, I've got a question for you in a minute, Tom. I got a question for you in a minute. I got a big question for you in a minute, Tom. I don't know you heard me and Saeed having a meltdown, but yeah, in a minute. Big up to me.
I was thinking to myself, are you...
Big up one of the old timers, mate. I actually like Lee. He's a really nice guy. When we played them last season at Old Trafford, yeah, Lee, we got stuck on. We basically, it was like a, you know what it was like? It was like a flood. It was like some sort of rain, crazy rain, and we were all docking underneath this little bit outside Old Trafford, and he joined us. So big up Lee. But I want to hear what Lee's got to say. This is a bit of a meltdown.
Winds me up that I'm thinking that, because I'm thinking to myself, are you ruthless enough? I've seen you ruthless enough. I've seen you ruthless on decisions, but when it mattered, when you should have been ruthless for the 3 points, you catered. You went down the road, which you should never have gone down. Playing midfield, you've got a player like a kid that can play that role, and you put in a midfield player you've never seen do it, and the performance up to the sending half was as bad as, or maybe even worse than it was at Fulham last season. It winds me up that I'm thinking that, because I'm thinking to myself, are you ruthless enough?
He's not ruthless. Talking about Mikel Arteta, I think. He's not ruthless enough. Oh. Tom, big up anyway till I line up. How you doing?
Not bad, you?
Tom, listen to this, yeah? That's what I said, right? Instead of we just I don't know if you're watching Saeed TV before. I said
I've only got
Collier.
it, but go on.
I said Collier, Maxio O'Lady, and Kobe Mainu. Those 3 players, I'd rather take those 3 players in midfield other than Bruno, Ericsson, and Casemiro.
What, as in now or?
Yeah, now. And now. I would take those 3 now. I want to go on a journey with those 3 because I already know what these other 3 have done. These are the 3 last season finished me 8th. At least give youngsters the opportunity to show something that they can do. And Saeed's like, I've lost the plot. I've been clipped. It's a howler. I'll die on that hill, Tom. Because you would have said the same in the 90s. Scholesy, Beckham, Nicky Butt. Nah, they're not ready. Nah, mate. But anyway, let me just go back to this. But how are you? Other than that, tell me, where are you?
Yeah, good. All good.
Where are you in?
Sheffield.
You're in Sheffield.
Up north.
Okay. How's it going up north?
Freezing. Fucking freezing. As soon as I've got the heating on. But yeah. What's this anyway? You're watching clips of Arsenal. What's going on?
Yeah, they're having a meltdown. They like to clip me up in it, and I'm like, I'm gonna try this, man. I'm gonna try this. I want to see what happens when the teams score in it, what they're doing.
Listen, if we lose to Fenerbahce, mate, we're gonna get burnt for this now. You do realise this, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Wow.
But big up to you, Tom.
Big up.
Big up to you. I'm going up there to try to find the video. Yeah, actually, Lee. Because Lee's a lot like me, apparently. Lee's a lot like me. Big up Fuad. Big up to this brother here. I always forget his name. Gams. Is that his name? Gams. This Japanese brother here. He's always at it. So, hey, Scholesy! Scholesy's in the house. Big up Troops. Let's see what Troops is saying now. Let's see what Troops is saying, Tom.
Fucking Liverpool, blood. Oh, my days. Oh my days!
It's the red card.
Oh my days, he's missing Liverpool. Oh my days, he's missing fucking Liverpool, blood. Oh my days. Oh my fucking days. Oh my days. Oh my God. Fuck my life. He's missing Liverpool, blood. Oh my days. Why did he do that? Why did you do that?
Split seconds, mate. Trossard, what a pass by Trossard.
Why the fuck did you do that?
Did you see that, Tom?
You did not need to do that. Look
there.
how far. You're on the halfway.
To be fair, it was stupid. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm with Troops here. You know what? You got the thing about it is that he's got quick recovery, Tom. You can actually come back at him. He's quite quick.
Correct.
I'll let any guy have the ball, and then I'll catch them later. That's what I would do. But anyway, Tom, talk to me. Talk to me. Be in with this, people. Let's get into conversation with Tom. Get into a conversation. There's expressions there. I played you when I cooked him. Big up to him, though. His team won. Oh, he was cooking Arsenal fans. Yeah, man. I don't want to hear what he's saying. Nothing but love, but I want to hear pain from Arsenal fans. There you go, Lee. We'll finish with this. I want to hear what Lee's got to say.
Now, I had another stinker, and now you're at the Liverpool game. What are you actually doing? You had a stinker against Belgium and gave a penalty away the other day. You've now had another stinker, and now you're at the Liverpool game. Well done, you fucking idiot. Well done, mate. We've got injuries galore in defence, and you decide to do stupidness. You idiot. Absolute idiot. Idiot. What are you actually doing? You had a stinker against Belgium and gave a penalty away the other day. You've now had another stinker.
By the way,
he's
talking
well
about
done,
Saliba here. The pressure's getting to him.
We've got injuries galore in defence, and you decide to do stupidness.
The pressure's got to him, Tom.
Absolute.
Saliba, giving away penalties, getting red cards. Hey, being the number one top dog in the Premier League, it's not for everybody, is it? You know what I mean? It's too hot in that kitchen there, isn't it? But anyway, let's get into it, Tom. Let me end this quickly. Let's talk about it. We said on the show tonight, can Manchester United kick on, Tom? Can they kick on? Can they kick on starting with Thursday night? Hey, by the way, Tom, you're going to enjoy a game for once because no Bruno on Thursday. But unfortunately, I won't be able to watch the game because I'm an event that is very important to me. So I won't be watching the game.
Bro. Good for you. Well, if we get turned over and we get turned to shit, not going to be jumping on here anytime quick, are we? Listen, if Jose does one on Ten Hag again, guys, our record going to Turkey, I think people need to remind them this. We haven't won in Turkey for about how many years? Do you know? I think we're going back maybe a decade, 10 years at least. Even correct me if I'm wrong, I think we went there with Fergie. I think we only managed a draw, and that one we played Besiktas, I think, as well. Record going to Turkey, mate, it's fucking terrible. And you already know Mourinho's going to have the daggers out with Man United and stuff. It's a club that he respects and he still has a lot of love for and everything and that. But listen, that goes out the window when you come up against one of your former teams and that. You couldn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit when he come here with Spurs. He didn't give a shit when he's come here with Porto and stuff. He didn't give a shit years ago, guys. So, let's not be surprised that Mourinho sets this team up robustly. It probably will be the old school part of the bus tactics and hit on the counter attack against us. But to answer your question of do I think that Man United can go on a run? They've got to. They've got to go on a run. And this run, it can't just be like 3 games and then you hit a banana skin. It's a draw that you should have lost. Or no. This run has to consist of consistent performances in line with consistent results. That's a run. Not, we'll scrape by, Brentford 2-1 or we'll win, in Fenerbahce 1-0 and, we'll just get by and we'll hold the line and get over the line. No, it has to be consistent with performances and also the results have to go hand in hand with it. Because at the end of the day, the one thing that's going to buy support from, say, fans like ourselves, and I think a lot of the people in the chat who have reservations about Ten Hag long term, is he has to consistently get performances out of the players. If he got performances out of the players and we're losing every single week, I'd sit there and I'd give the guy a little more credit because I'm actually seeing what he's trying to do week in, week out. And before anybody starts jumping on here and stuff, like we did last stream and stuff, where they're sitting here with fucking prizing grins and really, fucking smiley faces and that because we won a game finally. Yeah, we've won a game finally, guys. We had one first half which was absolutely shambolic and shit, and we all thought, has anything really changed? Something's happened at half time. They've come out and they were a different team. Don't know what it is. Don't know why they might put a rocket up their arse or done whatever. I don't know. But at the end of the day, that performance that you got in the second half against Brentford and that result will mean and count for nothing if you don't go and repeat the same performance, but for a longer sustained period against Fenerbahce. But I'm not talking about this run like 2 or 3 games. I'm talking probably until the next international break. This is how long this run has to last if he wants to buy some support. But the long-term sustainability of it, Dino, is this the way that we're going to play now consistently going forward with this new adaptation of that we play 4-4-2 when we're defending? Or is it that he's only playing it in the short term just to buy himself some time? Honestly, I just want him to play the way that he believes it should be played, play the best players that you can on the pitch that we have fully fit, and hope for the best. That's all that you can do. But at the end of the day, if we're going to sit here and, be critical about it, listen, Arsenal fans are getting, we're just sitting there with the reactions. Arsenal fans are getting fed up with fucking Arteta. He's won fuck all, but he's delivered them a brilliant team. I wouldn't mind being in Arsenal's position, Dino, where you've got a brilliant team that another manager can inherit and take you on and go and win something. It's a better position than what we're in right now. Okay, we've won 2 cups, but what's the direction of travel? We don't know when we're going to be challenging for a league title. We don't have a squad. Forget about having a squad that's good enough, maybe even fit enough for a full season that's going to actually be able to challenge for a league title. Because we're always losing players here and there. And look, if we can take one thing for sure, this medical department that we have at this football club, it needs fucking tarnishing. Jim, you've been giving out P45s to the canteen ladies, to people, fucking stewards, kitmen. Get rid of this medical department, seriously. It took them 3 times to put a fucking bandage on De Ligt's head against Brentford, and then they still didn't even get it right, do you know? What does that sum up about our medical department, mate? Fucking shambles, absolute shambles. But we have to go on a run now. Yeah, you're on mute. You're on mute, mate.
Yeah, big up. Listen, I said to Eric Ten Hag to turn this around, he has to go 13, 14, 15 games unbeaten run. That's what he has to turn it around. But I don't see that time anytime soon. Big up. Let me just get these super chats. Big up. Haitian King says here, these racist fans rate bums like Bruno, Højlund, Nacho, but slate players like Pogba, the Sancho, Xerxes, plus Eric Ten Hag said, well, listen, we don't know if he's a racist bum. That's a massive allegation to make about a manager. LVG would say no to Bruno. 100% agree with that. 100%. And I'm telling you now, Maxi, Kobe, and what's his name? Collier would play on the LVG. He would be the only brave enough manager to play those three youngsters. We saw him give youngsters an opportunity to play, and some of them played decently well. Rashford, there's no Rashford without LVG throwing Rashford in. Rashford, who the hell was like, oh yeah, we got a great young player. Rashford, no. It's about the opportunities, about how you take them. You give young players an opportunity to take them. But majority of people will never understand that, would you? Like, it is. But yeah, for me, it's about going on a run for me. It'd be going on a run. When Ollie said winning trophies is not always indication of team progress, he was laughed at. No, I didn't laugh at him. I never laughed at him. I'll tell you that, Windy, because trophies can paper over the cracks. That's why I was never asked about the League Cup. I call it the Haribo Cup, right? It used to be called Coca-Cola Cup. Now it's called Carabao Cup. I'm never asked about these trophies. FA Cup is something big for me because it's the greatest cup competition. But anybody can win a cup competition, and cup competition can paper over the cracks. That is a fact. That is a fact because Jose, look, we won a Europa League, we won a League Cup. And where did we get to?
Nowhere.
He was gone by the third year, by Christmas, in his third season. By Christmas, he was gone. So that's how it is. It's simple. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's going to be interesting. Of course, that big up Khalees Romedy Lassie, he was here before. He got a couple of quotes for Eric Ten Hag and what Eric Ten Hag was saying. And we got a couple of Rasmus Højlund quotes as well. But let's get into the quotes from Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag, it's what he said. He said, we believe we're going to the right direction. I would say that to all the writers, let's be patient throughout the season because we'll see how we end. We're quite convinced. God. Eric Ten Hag, of course, we don't do this alone. First of all, you need incredible good players. Without good players, any manager is poor, and the players can do it without the coaching. The players can't do it without the coaching. Well, your coaching has been shit, mate. Also, I have to say thank you to my coaches. We did an incredible job to win the FA Cup. God. He was at some award thing. This is what they're coming on Brentford. And Man UFC, we're just in the season. We are in the start. It was not a good start, we know, and we're not happy with it, but we're happy yesterday. So I've won the comeback, but it was just one win. Yeah, Diego Dalot is saying, coming to becoming one of the senior players, something that becoming part of me now. Well, you're fucking shit defending, mate. You gave away the corner on Saturday, and then you didn't mark your fucking player, did you? Like, what the fuck? Like, don't talk, mate. Your defensively was shocking. I just feel like being here for a long brings me experience at this club. Well, use the fucking experience then. Don't lose your man on a fucking set piece. They're one of the most experienced senior players. I think, I've already done that. Making that they know the values or the standards of the club, I think something that I've always tried to pass on to them while never letting myself let it go to these standards as well. Well, you need to improve, mate. You see him losing the player, Tom. He lost the player on the corner, and he gave the ball away before that.
He lost Pinnock completely.
Yeah.
And we did that. We went back to that shit that I always say that you don't work.
Half and half.
Zonal marking. Zonal marking when you use set pieces, it doesn't work. You put.
I think they do half and half, Tom. I think they do half and half at Old Trafford. You know, honestly, they've been doing half and half.
When we think about it, though, right? So the zonal marking system is never going to work when you have you put your three smallest players on the pitch. So for us, if we have a fully fit squad, that's probably what Kobe, maybe who else could we say is a bit small? Cobby's quite small. Garnacho, if he plays, is quite small, and whoever Delo might be the next one. You put your three smallest players on there. A big 6'4", 6'5" centre half is just going to bar them off like the fucking nothing, and go and run straight through on them. And then that's where your centre backs have to come into play. But one thing that we used, especially in the first season with Ten Hag, was we didn't even use that. It was all man for man marking zonal system. There wasn't this zonal system shy that we used. The best team that I've seen from, in particular anyway, when they defend set pieces in the Premier League, most of the time has been Brentford. And the reason being, Dino, is because they don't use this zonal marking system. They use man for man, but what they also do is they have two players that sit on either end of the corner of the box, and then when they have the chance to break on it, that's when they are so good and deadly on counter-attacks, because they just put, say, in Burmo, or when they had Tony, they used to put Tony on the edge of the box along with Burmo, and then both of them used to just burst up the field. Now it's more Visser and Burmo. It wasn't as effective when we played them on Saturday, just based upon the way that we had that spare man that we talked about when we played the Liverpool game, when we always got transitioned on in the game. You know, we always said that it was like it was 3 against 2 or 4 against 2. We didn't have that spare man that dropped in. Casemiro did that on Saturday. Sorry. The thing that I'm saying with this zonal marking thing is that goal is so easily avoidable, even with 10 men. It's so easily avoidable because the fact of that people want to make the excuse of that if De Ligt was on the field, it'd have been different. Would it really? De Ligt lost his man. De Ligt would have been marking another player. He wouldn't have been tracking Pinnock because De Ligt's supposed to be on him. And that's why I say the zonal marking system is never going to work unless you're going to damage the player's run or aerial presence towards the ball, or you're going to just give away the foul and you'll give away a penalty. The fact of it is, it's a no-go system to work with. The only other time that I've ever seen zonal marking be successful at the highest level of football was Mourinho's team when he was at Porto. Sorry. He used it very well when he was at Porto in Portugal, because that league, the way that players move and mobility-wise, the set pieces in that league wasn't as advanced and developed as it say was over here in England. So he took the game when he went to Portugal, and he got the sport in Lisbon. So he got the job over there with Porto. The systems that they use in Portuguese football is comparable to England from set pieces. The only difference is they wasn't coached over there how to do it. Mourinho took that and he did it against us in the Champions League when we played them at Old Trafford. He did it against them when he got to the final and he won the Champions League. So it's been done at the highest level, Dino, but it's an outdated thing. It's such an outdated thing. And even when we look at it from our point of view, we don't score from set pieces anyway. We create so many chances from set pieces, Dino. I can't tell you the amount of chances that Casemiro gets his head onto, or Rashford has a chance to jump for the ball and he's not direct enough in the air. We don't have enough threats with players in the box. The only even when we take as far back as the Southampton game, the amount of chances that we had from corners and free kicks, set piece plays, and we did nothing with them apart from the De Ligt goal. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And even before De Ligt was here, guys, even if we take the goal that was scored in Porto with Maguire, that's what I talk about with zonal marking. It doesn't work. Zonal marking system, Maguire ran straight off of his player and he's got a free header on the ball. It was the exact same thing that happened to us against Brentford. The best aerial player that you have on that pitch at that time was Maguire for us. Their best aerial player on the pitch at that time was Pinnock. And the fact that you let him have a free run to the ball, I'm not surprised it's gone straight past Onana before he can even react. I'm not surprised. You can't blame Onana for that. All you can do is blame De Ligt for that. It is an individual zonal marking system error, but it's based upon the players that you put there. And for me, it's not going to work. And that's why I always insist on, if you do man marking and you're very controlled by it, Dino, the only other time you're going to concede goals from it is because your player's been out jumped. That's it. Or they didn't want the ball as much as the opposition player. That's it. It's not going to be a case of they've parred off one of your players and then they've got a free run to the ball. It's not going to be as easy as that. You're making it as hard and as difficult as you can for it. But we don't score enough from set pieces anyway. And the fact is that happened at the weekend as well, when you go to Turkey, Dino, especially with Mourinho, he's going to work on that in training straight away. Straight away, that Man United can be vulnerable from set pieces. Because if we're going to adopt this zonal system, we'll concede from a corner in Istanbul when we play Fenerbahce. So for me, we have to scrap and abandon this whole zonal marking shit. And whoever the set piece coach is, yeah, we had fucking Eric Ramsey at this football club for about, 4 years. He survived 3 different managers. I think we only ever scored 5 goals from set pieces in 4 years. Fucking terrible. And this guy will get it just as much as anybody else as well. We need to improve. It's a big part of goals in systemized games. And if you get that early goal from set pieces, Dino, it opens the game up for you. But we don't score from them, and we're getting done on them ourselves. But we just need to see one improvement with it. But as a whole team, going forward, even when we say about this going on a run, Dino, the performances need to be adapted as well as the results. Yeah, if we get an upturn in results and form, that's good. But I also want to see us playing more as a unit and as a team. And then there's something that we can actually get behind. But the fact of that I've seen something for 45 minutes, I don't get what this big hype is, guys, because if they go away to Istanbul and they shit the bed because our European record is terrible, what are we all going to sit here and say, oh, well, nothing's really changed again? I'm not going to sit here and tell people that I told you so, but I'm just going to say the warning signs are there, guys. It's only 45 minutes. Remember what happened in that first half against Brentford? If we do that against Porto, remember the first half against Porto, do you know? We're 2-0 up cruising, mate. And we shot the bag. And we nearly lost the game 3-2. And we probably should have done. So, people, stop getting hyped on this gas train that you think Manchester United are back because we've won one game against Brentford. Yeah, there's the context of it. We'll give Ten Hag his plaudits. He picked the right team. He set the team up right for one game. He also set the team up right for one game in the FA Cup final. And a lot of people look like mugs for saying that now because of how the season started. But at the end of the day, consistently improve the team week in, week out in performances with good quality coaching, and then we'll see. But if there's not an upturn by Christmas, guys, he doesn't deserve to stay at the end of the season. He doesn't. He's failed. He will have failed you all. And all these people that have had a lot of faith in him, guys, you're going to have a lot of egg on your face, put it that way. And your credibility will be shot. But if you want to look at it from tactics, he has to improve. If you want to look at it from man management, he has to improve. He has to improve all of his basics of coaching if he wants to survive long term. But yeah, go on, Dino.
Yeah, basically, for me, it's just, I don't know, Tom. I'm broke. I'm not broken, but I'm not optimistic. I'm definitely not optimistic. Big up. Let me just get this bit of news here talking about. Officially, Leniero has returned to individual training. Happy for the kid, but if I was him, I would not be rushing back to get into this team, man, because this team is washed. Like I said, Eric Ten Hag would have to, for me, do a mad one for me to gain my trust. Because for me, he's not done all that to me personally. He's not. This season, last season, he's nothing to suggest that anything that what we're doing. And there is something for me to get behind. Manchester United defender returned to individual training, making plans to stop Rangers fans for the home section at Old Trafford in 3 months. Man United are already making plans to stop Rangers fans entering home sections of Old Trafford. Good luck with that one. Fernandes is suspended in it, Tom, and I can't even watch it. Tom, did you watch the Chelsea-Liverpool game yesterday?
I caught the last 20 minutes of it because I got in late, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, if you get a chance, watch the highlights or watch Match of the Day highlights. Chelsea, comfortable. Tactics. Please, can I ask you one question, Tom? How can Maresca go into a club that has bought 40, 50 players, go in there, get a group of them, coach them on a training ground, and set them up to have a proper game plan against Liverpool, a difficult trip away at Anfield, and actually worry Liverpool. Liverpool were hanging on at the end. How can you do that? And did you see them, the fans at the end of the game, and the Chelsea players, proper connected, clapping, because Chelsea players know that they've done, tactics was clear. Overload the midfield to Liverpool's 3. They played 4. They played that the French right back. They played him left back, but they played him as a number 10 out wide. So they outnumbered Liverpool in midfield. The two wingers stayed high and wide. So what happened when you got high and wide? It stretches the pitch wide because players will have to go to them, and then it gives you more control in midfield, and they already had the overload. They played out, even though they got shit goalkeeper, Sanchez, at the back, the goalkeeper. They played out, they played through Liverpool. I think they were the better team by absolute mile in the game. They've just got shit goalkeeper. Tom, how can Maresca do that? A fucking championship manager do that in 3-4 months? And why am I still waiting to see something like that from Erik ten Hag in 2.5 years?
Because he's a competent coach. But the fact is, guys, what you just said, as you know, you broke it down, is correct. I'll even add to that point of what you've said. He went into a club that was toxic, that nearly finished outside of European competitions. They ended up having to go into European qualifiers to even get to the Conference League. Then, even when you looked at the point, all of that issues and context, right? He's got 40 players. He's got owners that just spend money like lunatics and don't really know what they're doing going forward in a direction. He's just gone in there, Dino, and he's almost took, the modern day approach as a coach and said, look, I will work with 22, 23 squad of players. The rest of them, you need to find somewhere else to go. I'm taking control. I will lead training, but I'm only training 23 players, first team sessions. The rest of you, you're going to have to train with whatever, the reserves, youth team, whatever. Do your own personal training outside of the club, and you're going to have to find another club. He did that to Raheem Sterling because he wasn't a player that he liked. He said, listen, Raheem Sterling's a professional player. He understands my decision. I understand where he's coming from with his point of view, but he's just not my cup of tea. He's not my kind of player. Ta-ra, see you later. And he's got players in that he does understand. And they do want to play the one day how he wants to play, like Pedro Neto wants to be a lot more direct with his run and put balls in the box. Madueke, again, decent enough player, competent that he wants. The same thing even with Nicholas Jackson, the people made memes about the guy. He's getting a tune out of him. He's getting a tune out of fucking average players last season with that Pochettino couldn't. So if you want to base it on the facts of it all, he's got a clear, defined style of play. He's gone in there with the idea of that I'm going to evolve this club going forward, but I'm just taking the approach of I'm going to focus on coaching. I'm not getting involved in transfers. I couldn't give a shit about a transfer veto like Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag, I think, when he came to Man United, it was more the focus of I want to take control of this club because I don't trust the people that are above me. And we all could understand it when you've got Arnold, you've got Murto, you've got the Glazers who run this club. I can understand why somebody would want to come in and just think that they can do better than them. But he's got to that position now where there's people who think and who are a lot smarter than he is at dealing with transfers, at dealing with player performance, at dealing with enrolment problems with the football club, where you don't get players to adapt to the culture of the club. They've got more competent people who can do that for you. Wilcox has proven it at City. He even built it up at Southampton, One season he got them back up to the Premier League. Omar Barada's worked on the finances of Manchester City and getting them some sponsorship deals. Yeah, you can look at the point of view of, well, it might be dodgy, it might be botched. Listen, they've got away with it for how long, guys, have they not? So the guy's a smart operator. He knows what he's fucking doing, either the dodgy side of football or the right dealing of football. In the same way with Dan Ashworth, the recruitment process that he's done for all of the teams that he's been at, Dino, and even when he did the work at the FA, he made the recommendations that we need to change the style. We need to go away from long ball football and we need to get back to basics of grassroots English football, which was we go for teams in the attacking ascent, but we need to be defensively stable so that we don't leak 5-6 goals in a game and get embarrassed. And we've not done that for years with England. That's the work of what Gareth Southgate had done, but also Dan Ashworth made the recommendations of where changes need to come at the Football Federation. So Ten Hag, he's got a lot more competent people above him now who are pointing fingers at him and basically saying, well, we don't need you to tell us what players to sign because we're the experts in it. They don't need help from a manager, Dino. They need a coach who's just going to fall in line. They're going to buy players for that coach, and they're just going to get the best out of the players that they buy. That's what this new structure wants above them. And for me, that's where I think Ten Hag's completely abandoned what he was once good at Ajax, Dino, which was people always talked about he was a great coach, very visionary, man management skills were supposedly a lot better than what they are at Manchester United, from what you've heard from players like Tadic, Daily Blind, even Eriksen when he spent there, after the cardiac arrest that he had, when he spent a couple of months there training and getting his fitness back up so he could return to first team football. He said about the environment of what Ten Hag built over in Ajax and how it evolved and it flourished into something brilliant. But when he comes to Man United, it was almost as if he abandoned all that and just wanted to focus on, I want to make sure that everything's perfect for me, rather than putting some faith in people above me to do it for me. And that's where we can all sit here, and when people say that you can't use the 600 million line against Ten Hag, you can't use the fact of the recruitment, not all the recruitment decisions are his fault, and you can't say it's his fault that they paid £80 million for Anthony. He still wanted the players, guys. Man United are not stupid, right? Even before they had all this football structuring, guys, the scouts of this football club recommended so many good players that have later gone on now, Dino, and they play for the top clubs in the world now. We got recommended by Declan Rice when he was a fucking young'un at Chelsea. We ignored the decision-making of the scouts. We ignored the decision-making of the scouts when we tried to get Bellingham, Grealish, so many talent. Ake, before he went to Manchester City from Bournemouth. We ignored so many of the scouting systems. Højlund's the big one that we've missed the boat out on in modern day football. So don't sit here and tell us that, you can't use the £600 million argument against this manager. Of course you can. Yeah, he didn't choose what price tags those players were going to be worth, but he knew what he was going to buy in the player, and he clearly must have thought that, well, I just really want him no matter the cost, so they've gone and got him. I'm sure Manchester United scouts and directors and everything will have put other players in front of him and said, oh, well, you can get this player for 40 million, you can get this player for 30. No, I want Anthony for 100 million euros. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And the fact of that Maresca can go in there, Dino, and he's not bothered about transfers. He couldn't give a fuck about the media, about transfers, about having a control over a football club. He just wants to go in there, Dino, put his fucking winter coat on, his gloves on, get on the training pitches and work on tactics, playing style, coaching. That's what he wants. He's a coach general.
Listen, Tom.
He's a training ground coach.
Make sure you ask.
We don't have that.
I don't know if it's Stuart. Big up Stuart and big up Jarvis and big up everybody. Mbappe. But please ask them that question. How can Charisma go there? Maresca, sorry, Charisma. See, bloody hell. Maresca go there and in 3-4 months in the club that was absolute shambles, right? How can he go and coach a team and take players off and bring on to change games when he wants
Chelsea
to?
are in a similar environment that we are, though, Dino, where they've tried to change the culture with a new ownership and they've spent a lot of money to go in a new direction. And it's just not worked until they've now found like the right coach or the right manager for them who falls in line with what they're trying to do. We as a club, regardless of who the manager is, I always say this, we will always spend money as a club, regardless of who the manager is. We're always going to spend £200 million every window. And all this net spend bollocks and everything like that. We're only starting to get a profit for players that we sell. But we're always going to spend money as a football club. We're never going to be out of pocket, do you know? We're always going to spend money, even if it gets us worse or into debt. So, because we're always wanting to chase that success as a football club. But the fact of that, Ineos now, you have competent football people, supposedly, who are going to make these decisions on the club. If they don't look at Erik Ten Hag and think that he falls in line with the long-term future of the club or what they believe the manager or the coach should do in their eyes, why is he still here? Because you have some sort of allegiance to him because he won you an FA Cup. He won you your first trophy at the football club when you took over the ownership side of the club or the sporting side of it. You don't have allegiances in football. It's either you're successful and you're on a journey or you're not. We right now, I don't know what we are. We're like in a fucking wind turbine. We're blowing one way and then next minute, we don't know where we're fucking blowing to. Timbuktu or fucking Manchester. You don't know. And at the end of the day, as a squad, our squad is probably on par, if not better than a lot of the teams that are above us right now, on paper. But the results and the performances aren't showing it for the players that we have in this squad. We don't have a shit squad, do you know? We've just got shit coaching.
Tom, this is what I'm saying.
Not getting anything out of players. When Solskjaer, you know, in that third year, he had a brilliant squad. He had Pogba, he had fucking Cavani, he had Sancho, he had Rashford. He had so many brilliant, good players at that time. De Gea was still there in his primer years. There's so many good players in that squad. And do you know what we ended up doing in that season, do you know? Fuck all. fuck all. You had young talents like Greenwood were coming through. Cobby was still in the academy at the time, who was being hyped up to come to the first team. There's so many good players in that squad, and you did fuck all with it. And we wasted that whole season believing the lie that it can turn the ship around and everything. I've seen this story before, guys. We build a decent team, a brilliant team. Third year, the wheels fall off, and we act too late and decisively to try and turn the ship around. If you brought a new manager in now with proper coaches, a proper style of play, in 3 months, by after Christmas, we'll be playing a certain way that people will move to and look at Man United and saying, do you know what, they mean business. They're actually wanting to. When you come up against Man United, you don't give a shit about. No, and this is the factor that I'm going to say, no even rival fan. If you asked any of them Chelsea brothers that you've just got on the street, that you've just put up at the start of the stream, if you asked any of them the way that Man United play, they can't tell you. And that's non-biased towards your own football club. That's a non-biased, that's a neutral fan. They can't even tell you the way that we play. But if you ask them, how does Ipswich play, who are toward the bottom of the table, they'll be able to tell you. How do Chelsea play, who is one of our rival clubs? They'll be able to tell you. How do fucking, even Fenerbahce, in another league, in another fucking country, play, you'd be able to tell you. We can't say how Manchester United play as fans ourselves, and rivals can't either. And that's the overswarming majority. But it needs to go on a run, like we've said in the title of the stream. It needs to go on a run. And it's not this BS of 3 games and then the wheels fall off. No, it needs a long, long time. Probably all the way up until Christmas, mate. Because there's a lot of fixtures to come up anyway. But yeah, go on. You're on mute, Dino.
When I honestly watching Chelsea, I'm shaking my head yesterday. And I tweeted about it. And people are like, you couldn't even enjoy the win. I'm like, I've seen Chelsea boss Liverpool. Liverpool are top of the league. Chelsea gave them more than a game. If that ended up 2-2, nobody would have moaned about that game. It would have been a fair result. And then I look at the Chelsea players' reactions and the fans' reaction and their coach's reaction, and I'm like,
they've got a team to be proud. Yeah, they've got a team to be proud of. They've got something that you want to go later.
Like I said, let me just fix the slide for a minute. Like I said, right? Like I genuinely said, Tom, right? Why? It's just, I just don't understand how a guy who's in the championship with Leicester can go there and do that in 3 months. And straight impact at Spurs. Areola took him a month and a half, couple of months, bam, Bournemouth beating Arsenal comfortably, yes, the other day, 2-0. Red card or no red card. They were a better team. Yeah. Arsenal fans will tell even before the goals came, right?
They look shaky with 11 men. Regardless, forget 10 men. They were shaky with 10. They were fucking 11 on the pitch. Exactly. They didn't look comfortable.
So how can that happen? Listen, I'm going to let you go because you've got to go on the show in a minute and I've got to get some food. But lots of love, Tom. Make sure you ask Pape and the guys on the...
if I remember, I'll
ask. Just say what Maresca... how come he got the best out of those guys? It was clear plan. And even Man City in the first game of the season, they gave City a game. Lavia, brilliant player midfield, by the way. And Caicedo played really well yesterday. He was probably their best player, best midfield player, but it is what it is. Guys, subscribe to the channel. I'm sick of asking you to like the video. You don't want to like, but look at this, Tom. If this is true, this is fine. So what are they saying then? If he stays, then he's going to leave. Or if he goes, he's going to stay. What the hell? What's going on here? What the hell is going on here? There you go.
He's indecisive with his own career in a way because he's on good money. He's on good money, but he's never going to play consistently regardless of who the manager is. So
listen.
So it's like being a rock between a hard place.
Exactly. Well, you can go and play somewhere else, mate. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Lebanon, free Sudan, free Tigray, free Ogaden, free anywhere where people are getting oppressed. Total solidarity with the Chris Kaba family and all his friends. Basically, if you're different skin color in this country, you can be shot dead by armed police, and they will claim stand your ground law in America. in Florida, stand your ground law is you could shoot anybody and say, oh, my life was threatened. I felt my life was threatened by that minute. That's what happened today in court. You got off scot-free. Police in this country can murder you, black people, and get fucking away with it. This is what we live in. A journalist the other day had his house raided by anti-terror police because he's writing truth about the genocide in Gaza. Tell me again what free country we live in. Tell me again, people. Think about it. Think about it. It can happen to you. Free Haiti as well. Free fucking freedom from oppressions, mate. Yes. Bless up upbringing. Big up to Haitians, man. Big up the Haitians. Love and light. We'll leave with this. Overall, Harry Maguire, shit and greedy prick. Fuck him. Got early January. Harry had stayed consistent in that. Fuck the Zionists, man. Fuck the establishment as well. Love and light, people. We'll be live tomorrow morning if we're about any news. Take care. Big up Elite Baller. Make sure and subscribe to his channel. Elite Baller, let me know. Maybe you could, if you're free for a preview on Wednesday. If you want to come on the channel, let me know if you want to jump on. Love. Tom, hope to see you for the preview on Wednesday if you're about Wednesday night. Love. Take care. Peace.
Love, yeah. Peace.
Fuck the GCSEs while we're there as well. They don't make you who you are. They don't. No exams results will ever tell who you are as a human being. You are a human being and not fucking what's written on a piece of paper.